RSL Nation? Welcome back to the bro. Whoop. Nice job. Nice job. Hey, welcome back. Long time no see.
Bienvenidos a todos aquí.
We're also bilingual. But we're not offering Spanish right now. Just Spanish phrases.
Oh, this isn't a Spanish show?
This is not could be. If we could try it out. Do you want to try it out?
So how was your day?
That's fine. Good. Do you know what was bad about today?
The
Today
weather.
was the Thursday that felt like Friday.
It did. It did.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there is one more day left of the work week.
There
Not good.
is Thursdays are the new Friday, right?
Oh, I wish. I wish. How was your day? I heard you got to ref a game today. How was that?
I did ref a game. I was at the academy. So it was cool. A girl scored the game-winning goal off an Olympico, so you don't see that too often.
That keeper must not have been in a very good position.
It was 2-2 first overtime, and she kicked it. Ball bounced, goes over the keeper's head, back of the net. I'm like, wow, that
It
was
even
something else.
it even bounced.
It even bounced.
Nah.
That was like
That
that was like and you would think with a keeper that goes to the RSL Academy, she would have learned, but it's okay.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm
You
not too worried about
you win some, you lose some.
it. Well, I'm glad because that you got to ref because you do sound quite exhausted from that. So we'll make sure that we give you some rest after this.
Well,
How's that sound?
let's get right into it. So we had a partido yesterday, match.
We had a partido match yesterday.
Yes.
Um,
And
I
this,
I
this
just want to say this though.
yes.
Um, there was I did two different polls, one in X and one in Facebook. X and how you do Facebook. Anyways, the amount of positives and negatives from each platform surprised me. Which platform do you think? If you don't know, great. If you do know, guess for everyone else.
I'm gonna say the worst was Facebook.
You think the more negative was in Facebook,
Yeah,
and the more
I,
positive was in X?
I feel Nancy's pulling it down on Facebook.
Okay. Um, you're actually wrong. It was
We
the complete opposite.
we got too many negative people on X.
So on Facebook, there was a little over 60% that said that yesterday we were going to end the losing streak. And on X, we had let me pull this out because it surprised me actually.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, sorry, all these tweets from the game. You guys, here we go. Um, the poll said 36%, which was the highest, said that we still have big issues. And
I, I I think I agree with those people. There
well,
are
I was a
there
little
are
more positive.
no, like we talked about it last time. There from what happened with Gomez, with his story on Instagram and other things that are going on in the locker room. I think that there still are some issues that need to be resolved in the locker room before we can figure that out on the pitch.
True. We'll get to those questions, comments, and with all those issues after this game. But this game, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
another rough one.
yeah. We'll get to the RSL Bros helpline.
I'm setting them all to your way, not my way.
My the RSL Bros customer service.
You are now the RSL Bros customer service. We
So
did see a lot of lineup changes.
yeah, I was about to say let's get right to that. So with the backline, it's kind of a backline that we've seen before, but with the addition on the right back of Hidalgo. And Nelly was not playing in his normal right mid, right back spot. We have
Now,
Anelli.
time out, because during the game, it was actually Anelli was playing the back right, and Bodie was playing the right mid.
Yeah, but we'll get to it in a second. But after that first goal, it was Bodie who was playing right there.
That's true. You are
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So then we jump to the midfield. Luna's back. Luna was playing in the left wing. Ojeda, Palacio, and Anelli. No Sava. We'll get to that more in a second. The big storyline was Rubin and Julio. No Chicho, no Moose.
Interesting. When I saw this lineup,
Yeah,
I
and then
thought
obviously Moose didn't make the travel.
Sava and Moose didn't make the trip. So, hmm. This lineup had me scratching my head, but I was still confident. I was like, we're going up against a weak Portland team. We have to. I mean, it's like we have to.
I said it last time, and I'll say it again. Portland has had our number for 6 years straight now, and Portland is a very, very good attacking team.
I don't want to deviate from the whole subject, but do you think it has to do with their turf?
But
I've
look
been
at
thinking this for the longest time.
look at Seattle.
Exactly. They have our number up there too.
Well, we beat them last year, finally.
Yeah, once out of like how many times, but I
Yeah,
really think those fields trip us out.
I'm trying to think what other teams have turf.
Vancouver.
Vancouver, Atlanta, New England. I think that's about it. I think everybody else has grass.
Either way, I think we struggle on turf, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, as most teams do. Yeah, it's they've had our number for 6 years straight, and it's frustrating that we could not find something to fix that last night.
Let's dig into it.
Yeah, so let's start off with Santiago, 13th minute.
Santiago Moreno, my friends. Um, let's just say this. It wasn't a goal because of his merit. It wasn't that he earned that goal. Let's, I mean, let's.
Yeah,
How does this end up? It ends up a ball's being crossed over. Brody couldn't get a foot to it. They then do a desperate kick up in the air. I mean, that's what it looked like. I don't know about you.
it seemed like it was Glad's spot, and one or the other, either it was Bodie or Glad, kind of got out of position, and it was miscommunication for the most part, and that's what led to Santiago getting that easy header to put it back past McMath.
So you as a defender, you see the ball up in the air.
Hmm.
You're standing almost beneath it. Glad was almost standing beneath it. What should be your first reaction? I mean, the ball was
Well,
literally at the edge of the 6 yard box.
yeah. Don't you also think that McMath should have come out a little bit and maybe try to attempt to punch it or at least try to catch it?
You would think, right?
But when this happened, McMath was just literally just standing on his line, just waiting, and nothing from Glad, nothing from Hidalgo, miscommunication, nobody saying anything, and then out comes Santiago.
Like I watched the replays,
Hmm.
and how I'm positioned right now is how I was positioned when I watched it. I'm like, I don't get it. And in fact, Pablo Mascheroni mentioned or talked about it,
Yeah,
saying that he has he's totally utterly well, I'm going to rephrase it. He was utterly surprised that that goal happened because
yeah,
it was like, guys, what are you doing?
right. It's
Like,
basic fundamentals. We need communication on our back line to be able to know who to mark and what position we need to be in at all times.
not only that, those are good points, but also the desire to even grab the ball, like go get the ball. Like
Hmm.
the one thing as a defender, you need to be able, or not be able, you need to have the desire to get to the ball and get it out of your area.
For sure, absolutely, and we've seen that 4 games in a row now. That's it's I mentioned that to you a few hours ago. It's the storyline of our past 4 losses, our back line and our midfield. They're not able to communicate, and teams are able to get those simple touches. Houston twice, same thing.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the midfield real quick because for me, midfield wasn't horrible. Like it wasn't the worst we've seen.
No,
Um,
no, like Ojeda was doing what Ojeda has done, 48 of 59 on his passes for 81%. So he was solid, playing a full game of 90 minutes.
I mean, between him and Palacio, I think things were fine.
Yeah, yeah.
The the misconnection or the disconnect, I should probably say, that's better English. Grandma would kill me for that. Um, so the disconnect was between the forwards and the midfield.
Yeah.
Rubin and Julio were not mixing up with the midfield really well. Luna played his part on the wing.
Hmm.
Ojeda, Palacio played their parts. I think
Yeah.
the midfield was just fine. The disconnect was our forwards.
I think a not a part of it, but a main portion of that had to do with the fact that Rubin hasn't really played a game in such some time. I don't think he played that one game in League's Cup, but that was about it.
Yeah. And that's the unfortunate part. I think I almost feel like this was they were trying to do a rest game, which fans would call it a throwaway game.
At this point of the season, with I think less than 10 games, no game should be a throwaway game because, as you know, we literally dropped from fourth to sixth in the standings in one night. So every game, every point does matter. So I still I would have got if with Moose not traveling, I would have done a Chicho Julio.
Yeah, I've definitely Chicho should have been in there.
Yeah.
Especially with the first half, we saw only three shots,
Hmm.
three whole shots. Um, that's not good. Like
The only thing that we did well in the first half, I'll commend them for, was our three corners.
three corners. And let me just mention those three shots. Those all three shots came after the 38th minute.
Yeah, yeah. The one good thing that happened in the first half, I think it was 37th, 38th minute, was the Nelson Palacio
Hmm.
shot. I think
Yep.
that was one of his very first or only shots. Well, maybe he's had another one. That was a very good shot this so far this season that we've had him.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying the midfield was doing just fine.
Hmm.
Now
Yeah.
the second half, we're all hoping that we were because we're a team of two halves, right? A tale of two halves, right?
Oh,
What?
I was going to backtrack really quick. We had the in the first half we had the VAR.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that. But
yeah. In the
how,
in the in the 34th minute on Diego Chara.
that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I I mean,
Do you feel like because he did have contact to the face, he did like slap him across the face. We do know with VAR coming out, any attempt to the face is a red. Do you feel like that was yellow, orange card? Where are we on that?
I'm gonna say this. VAR had a really rough night, not just in our game, but and when I say our game, just that one call, but
Yeah.
also the Austin game had a questionable goal that should
Hmm.
have been counted. There's some questionable things going on, but this was a yellow orange card. I mean, I probably wouldn't have gotten red only because if the referee had some kind of control over the game, there wasn't anything like out of control in this game.
For me, like we've seen it in other MLS games where a player does have an attempt and has hit somebody across the face, and they have been shown red. So that's where I was kind of wanting that.
Right. I mean, from a fan's point of view, of course, we want anyone that has influence on the other team to get out. My only fear was when Ojeda did it in the second half, or was it still the first half?
It was the 46 minute.
That's right, 46 minute. And he went
Mhm,
to shield, and Chara
mhm.
runs right into his arm. I thought, oh, I bet you they're gonna, knowing RSL's luck, this is gonna be a red. But thank heavens, it wasn't.
By the grace of the soccer gods, we that did not happen.
Yeah. Also, I want to commend RSL real quick. They did not commit a lot of fouls. There weren't a lot of fouls called in this game. It was only oh, sorry. That first half was 5-6, so there wasn't a lot of fouls in that first half.
Yeah, yeah. Normally we see about double digits, but
There was
no.
double digits in the game, but
Yeah, but I'm referring to obviously in one half.
yeah, yeah. So, great job there. So, second
Right.
half.
Yeah, right. Right. Going into the second half, we see a change by RSL, which in my opinion, was a much needed change to add more speed in our attack. So we have Bodie coming off and Gomez coming in.
Yeah, and that ended up being a good sub for the most part. Bodie Hidalgo was not performing up to the level we needed him to. So moved Anelli back to the defensive spot, put Gomez right there on that right wing. And a lot of people were mentioning this. It almost seemed like he was fighting for his job, for his position, the time that
Uh,
he had.
After what happened last week.
E Yeah, basically.
I
um,
see that. I see that.
he hasn't seen a lot of playing time. In fact, that's what we mentioned last episode was the between the midfielders, they're dividing time up a little too much.
They are. They are. We need a set in stone lineup. None of this. Here's our resting lineup. Here's our full game lineup. Like no, like go full out every game. None of this resting players stuff.
Yeah, it's hard, I guess. I don't know. If I were a coach, I'd be wanting my same lineup because that those are the people that I trust in. Now,
Yeah,
I can understand changes of tactics and hey, we're gonna slip in this player because they can do certain things.
and like you mentioned, you want to change maybe some players because some of them maybe don't like playing on turf.
Sure. I mean, I don't know who gave these guys so much privilege to call themselves Messi, but um, I want to go back to Gomez. Gomez did a really great job on that right wing.
Yeah.
Um, but there was one mistake that he made that I think cost us the game. It eventually cost us the game.
Hmm.
Was the build up to that second goal.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a very unfortunate, kind of similar to a Bodie and Glad. I would say kind of out of position.
Well, there's a lot of things. I mean, if let's take like a couple of minutes and just talk about this one because
Yeah.
for me, and I expressed it on X that
Hmm.
if if Gomez would have stopped, um, what who was it? It was Bravo. If he would have
Yeah.
stopped Bravo in the defensive in their defensive half, then they wouldn't have had the opportunity or the goal that they had
That's right.
because we up until that second goal, if even if you look at the momentum chart, we were dominating for a good, let's see, I can do math, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 53rd to the 63rd minute, we were dominating. And
That's not bad.
we were just attacking, attacking, attacking. Even if we weren't getting shots on goal, we were still running up that line, getting crosses across. So we were putting pressure on. Now, they get the ball. Claudio Bravo does a little wall pass with I forgot who it wasn't that was right there with him. Um and uh and instead of Gomez following Bravo up that wing up to whatever,
Yeah.
um, he was jogging, walking because he had just made a huge run up the line. They lost the ball, and so then that's when they went back the other way.
Hmm.
Gomez needed to get on his horse and get back and mark Bravo because what happened? Bravo ended up taking into RSL's half, taking it a little bit further up, passing it over, I think, to Ferreira.
Hmm.
Ferreira ends up just launching a ball to the other side. And then here's the next problem. Who left? Um, who scored? Who
It was
scored?
Mora, Felipe
Who
Mora.
who left Mora wide open?
Wasn't it? Maybe I'm going for a long shot. Wasn't it somebody obviously on our back line?
So
It,
Mora happens to be in between Brody and Luna.
yeah.
Brody had shifted over to the center back spot
Hmm.
because Vera had shifted over to mark someone else because Glad had shifted over more towards the wing side of the box.
Hmm.
So you had everyone mashed from the half. If you cut the grass long ways, um, everyone pushed to the other half. So Mora was sitting on the other half of the box alone, in between, like I said, Brody and Luna. No one communicated.
No. No,
in the words of Kevin Hart, she wasn't ready.
we haven't been ready the past 4 games then. Um, yeah,
Um,
like what can you really do in that kind of situation? Like,
well, what do you the question should be, what do you expect out
yeah,
of this situation? I mean, what would you expect if there's a guy back there sitting in the box? What would you expect?
I would be telling my center backs or somebody like that to be like, watch him, watch Mora. He's wide open. Somebody keep an eye on him.
I wish I had like, or at least I didn't pay attention. I didn't watch the replay. I wish I would have seen Mora's movements because it almost seemed like he snuck his way to the back as everyone was starting to cinch over to the wing side, which makes it Luna kept his space because Luna tries to keep his space for an outlet. I can
Yeah,
understand that.
for sure.
But if Brody was going to cinch over to the center back spot, Brody needed to communicate. And I think that's so between Brody's what do you call it, involvement in the first goal
Hmm.
to his involvement in the second goal, Brody's becoming a liability at this point.
Yeah, I do agree. He's not the fastest of left backs, and he's just getting beat on several balls. If it, we need to, he needs to learn, or we need to find somebody different.
I mean, yes, in a general sense, yes, I agree. I think there needs to be a higher level of concentration. Pablo Mastroeni mentioned this also in his post game, that the amount of concentration on this team right now is really shaky. Um, we
Yeah,
need to get back to how we were focusing before Leagues Cup, and we were pretty focused. There were some letdowns in some spots, but
for sure.
we were um, we were doing better, obviously. Um, Take us through the after the second goal then. RSL started getting back on their feet, I thought.
Yeah, yeah. After we scored our goal, which was kind of weird. People thought it was Vera. I thought it was Vera, but it was actually a Chicho deflection that went in. It was kind of a, I guess you'd call it a hockey goal. I
It seemed like a hockey goal.
I learned that term when I was watching it.
Who taught you that?
I think people in X were calling it hockey goal, so I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, oh." But I actually thought we saw towards the very end, I think it was about the 90th minute, we saw Damir Kreilach go up for that header, which looked like it was good, but just sailed right wide. And we had so many good chances to tie it up, to get close, but nothing finishing at all for us.
well, let me tell you, we had 11 shots in that half.
Yeah,
That you can tell we were attacking. In fact, guess who stepped up in place of Pablo Ruiz to take those lost long distance shots?
was
Vera.
yeah.
Vera had one shot off the post. Oh my goodness. That was a rocket.
That should have been in. That was that frustrated me so much seeing
Oh,
that. I was like, "How? How?"
like I think we if Vera can make sure that those stay on frame, because I can see him just blasting one off to Mars.
Oh, yeah.
But his two shots, one that bounced off the post and one that was an assist
Uh-huh.
to Chicho,
Yeah.
excellent shots. Excellent.
Like, after seeing obviously, we took the L, which nobody wants to take an L, but seeing what we can produce in that second half with 59% possession, 212 passes, 11 shots, I I'm trying to be positive, like, that's something to build off of. Moving forward in the weeks to come, yes, we went from 4th place to 6th place in one night, but it's where we need to improve moving forward.
Like let's grab this. I don't want to be overly positive. I've been told I have toxic positivity. Um,
I've been told I've been a little too positive when it comes to our predictions, so
I don't think we've guessed a loss ever since we've started.
we have not, so that's probably our problem.
Um, so let's dive into everyone else's comments. There's a couple of comments that I'm gonna read them off to you, and I need your thoughts on
Yes,
them.
please lay it on me. This is the time for the RSL. RSL Bros Hotline.
RSL Q&A.
Yep. Take it
Okay,
away.
so we're gonna start with in Facebook. So we have a couple here. One from Angel Benitez. He says, "Why is Sabarino not playing away games as much?"
I think that, there's plenty of reasons to that could be off this, but my opinion, I think maybe it possibly could be in his contract. Or another thing is, we know that his wife just gave birth, so maybe he is home attending and helping out with the child. Those are my kind of two theories about what's going on.
So yeah, previously earlier in the season, he didn't travel a lot because his wife was really close to going into labor.
Yeah,
Um, that was one of the reasons why. They gave a couple of reasons of personal reasons.
yeah.
This one was someone had, I think Trey even said, came out and said this was coach's choice. So this wasn't this was Sava wants to stay home. Trey said coach's choice. What that means, I don't know.
If it actually was a coach's choice, I don't like it because we needed him there for that match, but we'll just suck it up and move on to the next one.
Yeah. So coach's choice. Done. Um,
Done.
here's your next question from
Okay.
Luke James in Facebook.
Okay, lay it on me, Luke.
Why are we consistently doing the same things that have been proven not to work? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Hey, should I think people should know that by being RSL fans, you're going through insanity sometimes. So we've
Yeah,
been
we
going we've been going through insanities when we were with Jeff Cassar and Mike Pecky. So
in fact, the last time we had one in Portland was with
Cassar
Mike
was it
Mike
with?
Petke.
Oh, was Mike Pecky? Okay, there we go. Um, but why are we going through an insanity? I
Well,
don't know.
why are we doing the same things and knowing that they don't work?
I think for Pablo, he just wants to see improvements. That's why we're seeing so many changes to the lineup, different new players. So he's just wanting that to see more skill and people to improve.
I think what's consistent, um, what Luke is referring to, well, no, I'm going to assume this is me assuming the only thing consistent here is change. There's so many changes to the lineup that
Yeah,
becomes so inconsistent
for
that
sure.
we can't get a rhythm. Um, Now doing the same things over and over again, we could be doing the same formations over and over again, same playing style over and over again. Um, I don't know what the specific same thing is, but the only thing that's consistently
The same
uh,
is
is change.
yeah. I I agree there. So
So
there's obviously like a lot of things that we want to see change. I want to see, like we mentioned, not a different lineup every single time. I want to see a different formation, but I don't want to see this 4-4-2 anymore. I want to see the a 4-4-2 diamond. But
you really want that diamond.
I've been asking for this diamond so badly.
You're asking for this diamond more than a BYU girl.
That's
Sorry,
fact.
BYU fans, that was funny. Um, okay, so now we're gonna get
Woo!
into we have a couple of X questions now.
Okay, lay it on me, X.
Okay, so this is from Reply Guy. He's
Is this
a
okay?
it, just Reply Guy. It's actually at Fisher King 2067.
Oh, I would have gone by reply guy too. I like that name.
All he put was hashtag Fire Pablo.
I see where reply guy is coming from. It is frustrating to where we've lost 4 games. We're in this rut. We keep switching players in and out. But am I on the fire Pablo train? I, in my opinion, I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's what I'll say.
All right. I am not on the Pablo out train at all.
Are
Um,
are you in between, or where are you at there?
I'm not even touching the train.
Oh, you're not you're still at the station.
Yes, I'm still at the station. Because I think there's other things going on. I don't think it's Pablo's full on tactics.
You think it's still in the locker room stuff.
I think it's still individual things because I think individual motivation. Let's just say this: Pablo has converted me to some ways of his thinking. I
Of
really think that
his
it.
psychology thinking.
I really think that some of it is true, only because I took sports psychology in high school and
No, no,
I.
no. I agree as well because if people are mentally there, then they'll play better and be there. So,
Well, there you go, replay guy. We're half and half here. Um,
yeah.
at Barticus J,
Hmm.
Bart says, I don't have a lot of hope for making the playoffs. It won't matter if we do anyway, because we'll be out in the first round. On the bright side, we only lost by 1 goal, so that's a big improvement.
Well, Bart, let me just tell you, the playoff format is changed this season, so there actually is hope for us to make the playoffs. Top nine do make the playoffs, and
Yeah.
right now, as it stands, we are six, so there is hope. And with the new format, we would actually host a game because I think it is uh, home and away.
Yeah, so at some point we're going to have a home playoff game if we make the playoffs.
But like I have mentioned several times, Bart, every game at this point does matter. Sitting at 37 points with who ninth place is at 33. So yes, we are in a scrap fight to the finish.
Well, I only have one thing to say to Bart, and is don't lose hope.
Don't lose
There,
hope.
there's still 8 games left. Don't
There's
lose hope.
still a don't jump off the RSL train quite yet.
Now, if we were like down in 6th place and there was 3 games remaining and our 3 games were against St. Louis, Seattle,
L-
and LAFC,
Then I'd
then
be like I'd be getting like the I'd be like,
the
deep
brown bag.
I'd be deep breaths, everybody, deep breaths.
Yep, exactly. All right. At James Max 760 or James
Okay.
says, I think the structure and patterns of play look strong in the build up. I
Hmm.
think the legs and effort are generally strong.
Hmm.
I see the problem as a lack of aggressiveness in our own box and a lack of a clinical touch in their box as the big downfalls.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely see that, James. We just cannot finish chances in the box sometimes, and it comes down to who is starting. Like in this last game when we played Portland, we had Rubin, and Rubin he hasn't played a game since that Leagues Cup game, so he just is kind of a little rusty.
Well, I think some might argue that he's been rusty for the past 2 years.
Yeah, like yes, he had his good little stint in the Gold Cup, having 2 goals for Guatemala, but he didn't really come back and do the same thing for us.
Yeah, it's rough, and I can definitely see the lack of aggressiveness in our own box. It's like what we just mentioned with Glad. It's like when you're a defender, you go and grab that ball. Like with it doesn't matter what it takes, you grab the ball. So
Yeah,
great, thanks, James.
thank you, James.
Um, last one. There's two of them, but they're both from at Grizz Father.
Oh,
I love Russell Grizz. Um,
before you do this, I just want to shout out. He has the best beard. If you guys have not seen his beard, the man can pull off a stunning beard.
it's it's true. It's true. I
Yeah.
and that was actually going to mention the same thing. Also, I was going to mention he has a very similar name as one of our old neighbors. Just so you know.
Oh, Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty.
Rusty. Oh, shout out to Rusty.
Rusty, if you're listening, we remember you. Okay, so Grizzfather says, such a weird season, complete heckle and jekyll, and it's not just one aspect of the team. The whole team is struggling mightily. Whatever they did to turn it around in May, they need to do it again and fast, or the season will end up below the line.
What for you? What do you think it was when we were doing so bad at the beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden, like May or June, something just flip the switch. What was that?
Um, it could have been um weak weak opponents. We had a stretch of weak opponents, so that way we are able to gain confidence with a combo of news that we are getting new players.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. I see that. Yeah, that partially could be it.
I mean, name the teams that we were playing in that stretch.
Um, I'll pull it up for you real quick.
Let me see if I can name a couple of them. We were playing Portland, Minnesota, Colorado.
Let
Uh,
me let me just stop you right there. You're wrong. You're wrong right there.
what do you
It
mean?
it was Seattle, Austin, St. Louis, Columbus, um, and
No, no, no.
Dallas.
Are you talking about the bad streak or the start of the good streak?
I was talking about the bad streak.
I'm talking about the good streak that he was talking about when we turned it around in May. That
Okay, okay.
that that that's what I'm saying. There's a streak of weak opponents that we played in there that helped us
Okay,
gain
okay.
confidence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you're talking about the good streak where we're like where we flipped the switch, it was yeah, you're correct. It was the Open Cup game against Portland Timbers.
Yeah, so Portland and then Minnesota and then Colorado. I can't remember after that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And then
something like that.
it was Austin and then LA Galaxy for the Open Cup. So
Yeah, so there's some good stuff there. But Grizzfather has one more comment where he says maybe a formation change is needed. What do
my
I
man, his father.
But he says, but something has to change. That first goal for Portland last night was one of the worst given up I have ever seen. Six
it,
guys just standing watching the Timbers player nonchalantly run up and have a wide open header was ridiculous.
it was. And Grizz father, I've said it to Alan. I'll say it to everyone. I'll preach to the choir. A diamond is what is needed. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, but in this case, diamonds are a soccer team's best friend.
I I've seen a lot of people now asking for Luna to be the center attacking mid, the
Yeah,
cam.
yeah, exactly.
So hmm, you might be on the right path, my brother.
I I I I know what I know what I'm thinking.
I'm glad you know what you're thinking. Um, Thanks everyone for the comments. It helps us. Well, it doesn't help us to really guide the program, but it
I was like,
definitely
sorry,
adds.
but let me go put that in our help box, and I'll go give that to Pablo.
No, but everyone has different ideas and comments, and it's great to hear from everyone. So thanks
Please,
again.
please feel free. Just leave in your comments, your concerns, and we'll get to those all the time.
Get to them in the next episode.
If not, we'll leave Alan's phone number, and you guys can give him a call.
Sure, sure, whatever.
No, but
I'm really nice guy to talk to. I promise.
no, but we have another game, home game, Saturday here.
Oh, this is me doing the Fortnite dancing.
You're oh, okay. You've been playing too much Fortnite with your kids. I see that.
Oh, yeah, got so much Fortnite.
No, but we got a home game Saturday night here back at the AFF, American First.
I know you want to say the riot. Just say the riot. It's the
Say the right.
riot.
Well, it's the riot. It's the riot. So it's the Rocky Mountain Cup. That's what it is. It's leg number deuce toes.
Leg number
So
dose of three.
yeah. So if you remember the first game, we won the first leg 1-0 back in
No,
Colorado.
stop. That was the Open Cup.
Oh, take that. Take two. It was 3-2. I'm looking at the wrong game. It was the same week. That's why I'm a little getting
Yep.
no, first game that we played in the Rocky Mountain Cup, it was 3-2 for us. Goals by Ruiz, Moose, and King Krylock.
And that game was all right. It was an all right game. It wasn't like oof, super overwhelming. In fact, they had more possession. They were doing a lot of more things than us, but we
Something interesting to look at in the who played in that game. Eric Holt played in that game.
his first and last game of the season.
Yeah, and now he's out for the whole season. Yakusin got a start in midfield in that game, which was interesting because normally he's a striker. So that game had a lot of interesting. You had Rubin playing a midfield role in that game too.
Well, and remember, this was one of our games that launched us into our streak. It like helped us propel us into a further deeper into our streak. So
Look at us now. Look at us now.
we're on a 4 game losing streak. um, so look at this lineup, and you have Ruiz and Loffelson in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
You have Rubin sitting on the wing. What the heck? Um, and then Moose and Krylik up top.
Yeah,
Um,
this one I don't know how we snuck away with a win in this victory because I'm like, you have Vera and Holt playing center backs together. It's like,
well, I mean, think about it. They only let in 1 goal in the first half,
yeah, yeah, that's true.
and Glad had to come in the second half, and they let in another one. But hmm,
Yeah, so Colorado on not Saturday, on yesterday is coming off a 3-0 loss to Minnesota. But something that I found interesting is Colorado's last away win. Do you know when Colorado last won an away game?
I want to say you told me, and I totally forgot. So I'm gonna say beginning of May.
May 9th. Is,
Ooh.
is that crazy or what?
Against who?
Well, it was Open Cup. It was against Sacramento. And then they
Before
won
that,
a few days before that, May 6th against LA Galaxy
at the Galaxy.
at the Galaxy.
Oh man, nothing like two bottom dwellers fighting it out.
Yeah, but still, May 9th. That's crazy to believe that last time they won an away game.
Well, crazy to think the last time we lost an away game
Uh,
was in April.
yeah, yeah, that's true. So if we're looking at the goal scores, goal scores for Colorado, that's a funny joke.
Sorry, Crappets fans.
So in the transfer window, they got Andrew Gutman, who plays right, no, not right back, left back. They picked him up from Atlanta United. He is their leading goal scorer now with 3 goals.
Oh, you
And
said a right back,
left back, he plays left back.
left back, and he's their leading goal scorer.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. He's at 3 goals, and then they have 3 players at 2 goals. So that is something else. They have their normal goalkeeper, Yarborough, who is out until I think for the next 2 months with injuries.
Ooh, don't tell me that Diego, what's his bucket, still plays for. Yeah,
Diego
Diego Rubio.
Diego Rubio, yeah.
If there's
They
a
j-
player that I hate, I swear, I promise you, I can't stand the guy.
if you do remember, they did just get rid of
Barrios.
Barrios. Thank you. I was just drawing a blank on his name. They just got rid of Barrios, who just went to the LA Galaxy. So that's a good sign for us. We don't have to deal with him.
Did we have to deal with him last game
I believe so. Yes.
as a substitute?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one less player we have to worry about for them. But there's not really much to worry about when it comes to the Colorado Rapids because they are obviously a last place dwelling team.
With a
Uh,
goal differential of 21.
they've only won 2 games on the road. Only scored 9 on the road, led in 27. 9 points they've picked up on the road. So this we've seen this story happen several times when teams come to the riot. We have the Galaxy. We're like, oh, easy dub. That didn't happen.
I mean, let's be real here. Galaxy have some players like
Yeah, yeah.
they have Douglas Costa, they have Ricky Puig,
They had Chicho, obviously Chicharito, but he got injured. But
but who do the Rapids have?
my friend, let's look at their last game. Who they started. They have a player by the name of. I was trying to pause for dramatic effect. I was like,
Like
Rafael Navarro.
um also watch out for Bombito. I mean,
Yeah,
here's the problem for the Rapids is obviously they haven't been putting good money into getting players that actually do something. So I'm not worried about Colorado,
Yeah,
especially if they're going to be playing the lineup that they played against Minnesota. I'm not worried.
like they're two better players in Cabral and Beta Shore. They come off the bench. So that's kind of confusing. Like, why do you have those two good players? They should be starting for you guys.
Beta Shore, he still plays. Holy
You
crap.
guys, at 36 years of age, he is still around. He is like their Kyle Beckerman. He won't. They can't get rid of him.
He's eternal, it seems like.
He,
Though I do want to point out the fact that Colorado in their last game, all the goals came in the first half, no goals in the second half. But that probably means Minnesota was just backing off.
yeah, if you look at the stats in the second half for that game, it's 56% possession, 44, and yeah, it's very very one-sided. So Minnesota was just kind of playing keep away from them in that point.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I had more to talk about with Colorado, except the only thing I have to talk about is that if we win this game,
We won the Rocky Mountain Cup.
we win the Rocky Mountain Cup.
I was gonna say, what kind of do you want to see? Same lineup that we saw Wednesday in Portland, or do you want to see totally different thing for us?
Ooh,
Just
yes, good topic. So
is this the game where we finally get to see Kevin start?
please, like I I want to see Kevin start. It's
He, he,
he
he
seemed like,
didn't he didn't even come off the bench in Portland. Like, let the man play. Give Kevin minutes.
but like when he went in against Houston, it seemed like he had the energy, he had the urge to do something.
Yeah.
So I say let's put him in from the beginning. Let's pair him up with Vera. We
Oh
have
no, I was gonna say I want him with Glad.
look, I there's been a lot of glad comments, and they're not very glad. Um, it's probably not the first joke he's heard. Um, I just I think Glad needs to take a break. I think
For
he
sure,
needs
for
to
sure.
reset because
So are you with Brody then on left back, or are you just you done with that too?
here's the issue. If it's not Brody, it's going to be Oviedo. And actually, stop
Let's
the press.
let's
I
go let's go Oviedo.
Yeah, I'm down with Oviedo, to be
So
honest. I'm down with it.
let's go Oviedo, Kevin, Vera, Anelli.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can
You
do
saw
that.
you
Yeah.
saw and let's go over to the left side. Let's go Luna, Ojeda, Nelson, Sava.
Yes. Yes,
And then
sounds
and
great.
and then give me a Chicho Moose.
I think that sounds like the best lineup we can put out right now.
And then just let the Moose go loose. And
Let's let the moose go loose and have the beaver dam.
yeah, because you know what? Saturday, it's gonna be raining fireworks.
Ooh, why?
Because actually there are gonna be fireworks after the game.
But why?
Because you wanna know why? You know what time it is? It's prediction time.
Yeah. What was that little running man?
I'm running in place.
Nice job. Go, do it.
Like I said, there's gonna be fireworks on the game Saturday. Not just up in the sky, but there's gonna be fireworks on the field for us. And it's our time. We're gonna win the Rocky Mountain Cup Saturday. So give me a 3-0 victory for RSL. We're gonna bounce back after losing four in a row. It's our time.
Now, that's a very optimistic, especially after two games in a row of 1-1 for you.
I know, but we're back at the Riot, and Colorado is just they haven't won an away game since May. So this is gonna be our time.
All right. I can pick up what you're throwing down. Um, everything what you just said. Everything what you just said. So I'm just gonna give you my prediction. It's gonna be a win for us, and we're gonna go 2-0.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. Two shoutouts for both of us. I like it. I like the optimism. Perfection.
I mean, I think this is the perfect moment to have optimism. For those of us or for those of us, for those of you watching still, um, had some technical difficulties. Marcus's internet went out, but um, that was the show for you guys. Be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms, on X, on Threads, on Instagram, on Facebook. We're on Facebook now, and don't forget to obviously, if you're watching here, to subscribe, click the bell, so that way you get all the notifications of when these episodes come out. Also, don't forget we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So be sure to catch us. That way you guys can get all your information, all the opinions, everything, all about RSL. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao, ciao!